Now that you've signed Gustavsson, is there anybody else in the free agent pool that
yes.
I'm saying you haven't done enough, but you still got your eyes on the player?
Yep. Well, we're not done. We still got cap room, and you can go over the cap in the summer. We're not done. We're still. We're going to take advantage of every opportunity we can take to better our hockey club. I think we've made some major steps, but we're not done. We'll probably take a deep breath now and see how things shake out, but there's still some names of interest, and there are going to be trade possibilities now. If you look at our depth chart with 10D on there, we got our first serious trade offer yesterday on a defenseman, as soon as the Bolshevin thing was announced. Not for Coverley, for a lesser defenseman. But that's the next thing there is see if we can parlay a defenseman into a forward.
That would seem to be the way to go right now. I know you talked about...
Well, thank you, Howard.
Prior to your 3 defenseman acquisitions, you mentioned that you'd want another defenseman back of his caliber, but has that changed now? You haven't added a puck mover, but you've added more acquisition, though.
Well, and that's to me. I don't. We went after. I've built all my teams from the net out and the blue line out. That's no secret. To me, that's where I was a forward. Everyone, when I say that, everyone thinks I was a defenseman. And then they look at my stats and they're convinced I was a defenseman. I was actually a very low skill forward. But you can't win unless your defense can outperform the other team's defense. You can't win. And also, the simplest thing to righting a ship, a leaky ship in the NHL, is reducing the number of pucks that go into your own net. So you got to improve your goaltending, which I think we will with a healthy Vesa and with Jonas. And then we've got a vastly improved defense, in my opinion. And there's some bite back there. I think to be successful, you need some bite on the back line. You don't want your heavyweight to be a defenseman because the ice time's too valuable. That's why we got Colton Orr. But you need some bite back there, too. You need some nickels on the blue line, too. Some 5-minute majors back there. So I think with the changes we've made, there's some bite there. There's some size there. And now we got to see if we can turn one of those guys into a forward.
Are you happy with the puck-moving abilities of your defense as it stands right now? Obviously, you have Caberlet, and he's very good at it. But do you have enough puck-moving abilities that you could afford the loss of Caberlet with what you got left?
I think so. It's kind of it's going to sound like a Zen answer, and I'm not really a Zen guy, but we don't know what we have from a puck-moving standpoint because we were pinned in our end all last year. And the hardest thing to do is evaluate your defenseman on a team that's struggling. We didn't do enough where the defenseman took a step and made a tape-to-tape pass. We felt pressure when we threw it around the wall, and their D pinched down, and now we're stuck. And sometimes it took us a week to get out of our own end. I thought Luke was the best of the group at taking that extra step and making a tape-to-tape pass, and I counted progression from him. I've had Boschman. He can make good outlet passes. We didn't have good outlet passes last year. So let's see what we have on our ability to get out of our zone now. I think it's enhanced, and I believe it's improved, but we'll see. And let's see how good the group of forwards is with some toughness. We had a group of young forwards that really came along, despite the fact that some nights Grabowski spent more time on the ice than the Zambonis. These people are getting knocked down and picking their teeth out of the glass all year. Let's see how they do with a little toughness around them. I don't believe in toughness for toughness' sake. I believe in it as a tool in your toolbox. When you go into a rink and you got to beat a team, you look in the toolbox. There's goaltending, there's special teams, and there's toughness. It's right in there with all the other tools, and I want to see what we have now that we've enhanced that.
You just talked about the Boschman signing yesterday a little bit. Obviously, you have him in Anaheim. How badly did you want him here?
Well, Boschman is a very underrated player. I did not know this player. I think whenever you make a deal, you should give credit to the person who deserves it. In this case was Bob Murray. We traded Fedorov, and he said, you got to get Boschman back in this deal. And I went and looked at my notes, and I'd seen Boschman play, and I never wrote one thing down, not big shot, not tough, not anything. And I said to Bob Murray, it's one of those little stories. I said, I'm going to ask for Boschman. I'm not even going to be able to finish saying his name, and Doug McLean's going to agree. And I said, I need a better name than that if we're going to try and do this deal. I don't want to look stupid. And so he said, no, that's the guy we want. So I called Doug McLean. We're talking about the trade. I said, we're going to do this deal. I need Francois Boschman. Done! And I said to Bob Murray, I felt like such an idiot. It was exactly what I told you was going to happen. And he came in, and he was overweight. He hadn't played much, and his weight was off. And we said, I told him we were sending him down. And he said, give me a chance. He said, give me a chance. Give me a week. Let me get back in shape, and I'll show you what I can do. And it was a great acquisition that, again, I can take no credit for. He's solid. He's smart. He's tough. He can shoot the puck. He has no holes in his game. He's not a spectacular player. Not going to bring people here out of their seats very often, but he does just about every part of the job well.
There's a big point gap between you and the playoffs, and you talked about that. With these additions and some enhanced goaltending, do you think you're in position now?
Well, I started a firestorm when I said this, when we missed the playoffs, when we were eliminated, and afterwards. Our goal is to make the playoffs. I don't know if we're good enough to make the playoffs yet, but that's our goal. I think we're a lot closer than we were 5 days ago or 6 days ago, and we'll keep trying to improve the club.
Anybody else? Great, thanks. We're going to break off.